For me to fully love everything about myself, and by loving something, let me just say, it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to think that that is how you live your life. Love really is about acceptance. It's about accepting what is and not wishing to change it in any way. It's about accepting that how it is and what it is perfect for that moment and in that situation. It's perfect. It cannot be any other way. There's no point in us trying to think it should or could be any other way. In that moment, it's perfect. That doesn't mean we have to carry it through to other moments. All we have to do is acknowledge that in that moment, it was as it should have been. That's fine. It just has to be like that. By not accepting and looking and understanding that in the moment, or in future moments when we look back in hindsight. In fact, a big problem is we don't look back at it and we just bury it. But when we look at it, accept it, understand it, love it, then we don't have to carry it forward. It becomes integrated within us, and we as one move forward as a new energy, if you like. So self-love is a process. It is having a relationship with yourself. It is looking, examining what you don't like. Of course, this is going to be uncomfortable. If it wasn't uncomfortable, we would have already done it, and we wouldn't be here now. So if you are ready to take this journey, it will be uncomfortable, but it will be worth it. You're about to start and embark on the greatest relationship of your life. It is the most fulfilling relationship of your life because you control all sides of it. And it is, of course, the relationship with yourself. Have a relationship with yourself. You already do, but you don't embrace all of it. Like the opposing voices in your head, you possibly alter from being solely with one to being solely with the other, and as such they oppose each other. But when you accept that all of them are a part of you, because you can see all of them, you can see both of them, when you look from that perspective, you can listen to all of them without judgment, you can listen to all of them with acceptance, and as such, you listen with discernment, and you don't get easily affected by either one. A big aspect of accepting the parts of ourselves that we don't like is to examine why we don't like them, is to examine where they came from, is to examine everything that we can about them. If you can really find the courage and the strength to look at them, and I advise you to do this, because if you actually do, you'll realize they aren't as bad as you think they are. Maybe they are things that you've done, maybe they are feelings that you've had, perhaps they're reactions you have. I guarantee you that every one of them is purely a product of conditioning. It is purely a product of some experiences you've had, it's purely a product of something from outside of you. It hasn't come from within, it's come from outside. And if anyone else had had the exact same experiences in life that you had had, they would have reacted, responded, felt exactly the same way. I want you to realize that whatever you're feeling is natural. And the only reason you don't like these things or these aspects, well, there are possibly two reasons, but ultimately the reason is that they aren't in alignment with who you are right now. It's because they're from the past. They're from the past which you haven't accepted, embraced, brought into you, and moved forward with. So there's still a part of you that's being pushed down. Another thing worth saying is that without these challenges, without these hurdles to overcome, there would be no growth. You would be stuck and stood in exactly the same place, And you would be so bored. We are never given anything that we are not strong enough to deal with, that we are not strong enough to handle. The bigger the problems you are facing, the stronger you actually are. In a way, you could say it's God, the universe, whatever you like to say, saying to you, you are really strong, and I can see that you don't see this, so I am giving you this so that you can prove to yourself how strong you actually are. And the strength here is that we have to believe this. When you start believing this, when you start truly understanding it, things will change, things will shift for you. And let me tell you, the stronger you become, the bigger the challenges will come to you. Challenges are always going to come. That is what life is, because that is how we grow, it's how we evolve. Without the challenges, we really wouldn't evolve or grow or get anywhere at all. And I know I talk about this a lot, but it's something which is so important to understand. Someone who has never struggled will never know what it is to not struggle. Someone who has never not loved a part of themselves will never fully know what it is to love and embrace every part of themselves. They will never know what it is to actually be whole, because they have no basis by which to understand or recognize that. The world of polarities, it's how the world works. Otherwise, nothing would be known and nothing would be felt. Everything is exactly as it should be. It has to be like that. It cannot be any other way. And we have decisions, we have choices to make, so we can change things. We can change the trajectory for future moments. But in every one of those moments, everything is exactly as it should be. Nothing could be any other way. It is all perfect, and that includes every part of you. But you can make the decision that you want to change that. Just because something is as it is in one moment doesn't mean that it's perfect for the next moment. And if you are feeling this disjointedness, if you are feeling unhappiness, that is your sign that something should change. And that is your sign that you should do something to create that change. Because it has to come from you. It can only come from you. But let me tell you, just by watching this video, work is being done. Believe me, seeds are being planted, they will sprout, they will grow, as long as you water them. As long as you stick to this. If anything resonates within this, take it with you. Allow it to fester, allow it to germinate.